Hey, how's it going? Kenny here, and welcome back to Non-League to Giants. And up in today's episode, we begin life back in the Championship. Of course, this is depressing times as we just got relegated in the final episode there. But I'm slightly upbeat about this season. I feel like we've got a good chance to go straight back to the Premier League. It's just about doing it now, of course. It's going to be a long season, 46 games to go. And in today's episode, we start off with two tricky games, it has to be said. We've got Bournemouth at home first, who's a local rivals of ours, of course. And then we face Middlesbrough away from home, another team who got relegated with us. Interestingly enough, the three teams who got promoted from the Championship 2 seasons ago now, us, Middlesbrough and Stoke, have all been relegated as well. So none of us got a chance in the Premier League. We don't really care about those two though. Hopefully we can go back at the first time of asking. So as I said, a very tricky start to the new season here. Bournemouth at home first, then Borough away from home. In our season preview, they've got us down in 4th place in the favourites to win the league here this season. We actually were about 10th or 11th place at the start of the new season because of some of the players we've lost. Get to that in a second, but we've gone up now after the players we've signed, and despite losing a few key players as well, as you can imagine, being relegated, a lot of our players, especially our new signings, had active relegation release clauses. All the vultures have come in and nicked a lot of our players. We've still got a couple who might leave us still due to their relegation release clause, but at the moment we've kept hold of them. One of them is Gonzalez, is our only player who's made it into the media Dream 11. According to the media, he is the second best player in the league as well, behind Robert Piccoli of Stoke. So it's very paramount we keep Gonzalez, but he is one of the players that might leave us due to his relegation release clause. Same with Guevara as well, the two wonder kids we signed from South America. Gonzalez, though, he could tear up the Championship, we shall see. He's actually got no one after him at the moment. I had lots of bids for Gonzalez, lots and lots of bids. But the way I see it is, if you're not going to match his relegation release clause of 19.75 million, then you're not having him. He's moaned to me about leaving, but I've made it clear to him that he's not going unless someone matches relegation release clause. We've actually received more money in an offer than that, but over instalments, of course, and over instalments, it doesn't count as meeting his relegation release clause. As of yet, no one has met that, but they might do from now towards the end of the season, so we might lose him. Hopefully, we don't know, because he is a key player for us this season. As you can see there, second best player in the league apparently, and if we go up again, which hopefully we do, we shall see about that. He could be a great player to have. Of course, he's a wonder kid. He's still improving. He looks very good. He looks unbelievable for the Championship. He didn't start off too well in the Premier League. Didn't play too many games, though. So hopefully we can keep hold of him. The other one who we might leave is Guevara because of his relegation release clause as well. But at the moment, those two have stayed with us. Anyway, in terms of the transfers, a fair few players have left us, as I said. But to be honest, I actually think our team, our first 11, is better at the start of this season in the Championship than in what it was last season in the Premier League. I don't know what I was thinking, to be honest, because our forward line last season was absolutely disgraceful for the Premier League. Absolutely disgraceful. It's no surprise our top goal scorer, David Helm, with 7 goals. Talking of David Helm, by the way, of course, Man United signed him a year and a half ago, but when he was back in the Championship. He was on loan for us last season and the end of the Championship season there. He has gone now. He's officially back at Man United. I think our love affair with Helm is over. He didn't really impress me too much in the Premier League. I did try and sign him on loan again, as a backup striker to Pellegrini. But unfortunately, they said that he should be tested in a different environment. So no David Helm. David Helm has left us. He's gone. We have to move on without him. In terms of the other players that have left us, though, as I said, a few left us with a relegation release clause. The first one to leave us, though, was actually Vucic, our new goalkeeper we signed last season for the Premier League. He was a massive disappointment. He was also, a lot of the players come to me moaning, wanting to leave because we was relegated, of course. So he was one of them who was throwing his toys out of his pram. And to be honest, I wasn't really devastated because he was useless, absolutely useless. He has gone to play for America. Not the nation, of course. He's gone to play for the club. He played in Mexico, I believe. He's gone there for only 3.5 million. So we're taking a £1.3 million loss on him, but I was just happy to see the back of him, to tell you the truth. He was useless last season. 19 games, 42 goals conceded, and an average rating of 6.59. That is absolutely pathetic. He didn't set the world alight for us. Lost his place to Peacock Farrell as well. And happy to see the back of him. Taking a loss on him, but good to get rid of him. The other two players to leave us, though, I wasn't happy to see them leave. Adam Steele has gone to West Brom for 14.25 million. He was actually a wonder kid when we signed him. When we signed him, he had the likes of Chelsea and Liverpool after him as well. but he didn't really impress me too much last season. I was having problems with his positioning. I didn't see him as a centre-back because of his pathetic jumping reach. 9 jumping reach was really poor, and he's only 5'11". Also, as a right-back, I like my right-backs to go forward a bit. He's not great going forward. I saw him as a perfect ball midfielder type. I see that as his role going forward, to tell you the truth, although he's not our player anymore, so probably not going to be. Yeah, as a right-back and centre-back, he didn't really impress too much. I did want to keep him though, of course. He had lots of value, lots of potential as well. You still can't ignore his great attributes he has here. As I said, as a DM, I wanted him to be that. But he's left us. He's gone to West Brom. Active relegation release clause. We did make profit on him though. We made 3.25 million profit. Last season though, he was atrocious as well. 30 games and 6.52. That is just absolutely abysmal. But he had potential. He had lots of potential. I had to find him the right position, the right way to play for us as well. But unfortunately, we're never going to find out because he's gone. Thankfully, we got some profit on him though. But Adam Steele has gone as well, which is a little bit disappointing. The other one to leave us as well was Kane Kesler-Hayden. He's gone to Norwich for 11 million. Disappointed to see him leave because he was one of the best players of last season. 6.77 doesn't look that great, but you're comparing it to 6.5s and even some 6.4s. It looks a lot better than what it is, doesn't it? So, yeah, 2 goals and 2 assists for him last season. He was a decent player for us. We got him on a free transfer, though. Got 2 good seasons out of him in the Championship and the Premier League. He has gone to Norwich for 11 million. Again, it is active relegation release clause. Disappointed to see him leave, but we've got Gonzalez coming through in his position, and you could argue the case that Gonzalez is really better than him. The only thing Kesler-Hayden's got better than Gonzalez is his speed, really. So not that big of a loss. I'd like to have kept him, of course. Him and Gonzalez at right back would have been very nice for the season. Haven't really got too much great cover for right back now at the moment, but we have got Gonzalez, as I said. Kesler-Hayden's gone for 11 million, so not nice to see him leave, but it is what it is. Another one he left us because of relegation release clause was Tony Springett. He's gone to West Brom for £9 million. Disappointed about this one. He was our best forward player of last season. And when he got injured, it was a big loss for us coming into the season. He had a serious injury, missed the last 10 games or so for injury. And who knows, if he was fit, we may have stayed up. We may have genuinely stayed up. He had 4 assists in his last 2 league games before he got injured. So he was on fire as well. And then he picked up that serious injury. 2 goals and 8 assists last season with Springett. So he would have been a key player for us in the Championship. Unfortunately, he has gone to West Brom for 9 million. We made profit on him as well, though. We signed him for £4 million back in League One, which seemed like a ridiculous price tag at that point, because he was quite useless in League One. But he turned out to be a great player for us, and we over doubled our price for him, so that is nice. But he has left us as well. Goebbels has gone to Reading for £4 million. Happy to get £4 million for him. He was on loan at Reading last season as well, so he has left us. A few players have left us on loan. Kieran Paul is developing quite nicely. He's looking like a decent player, actually. I'm looking forward to seeing him come back in a season or 2. He might be a useful player for us. We shall see. He's improved a lot in the last year. He was on loan at Fylde last year, I believe it was. Yeah, he was on loan at Fylde in Van National. He's now playing in League One for Sheffield Wednesday, a much bigger club. So let's hope he comes back an even better player. That'd be great. Jack Marne's gone to Oxford on loan. Noah Cooper's gone on loan to Doncaster. Glenn Byrne's gone to Oxford on loan as well, as is Noah Hay. So Oxford is raiding our players here. Also, Abdoulaye Ndiaye has gone to Hull for 2 million, potential 2.5 million in the future. Didn't play a lot of football in the Premier League. He was awful when he came in. Again, 10 games, 6.5 for average rating. We've moved on from Ndiaye. He's not really in my plans too much, so happy to get some money for him. And also, Michael Dunn has gone on loan to Shrewsbury for the season. So in terms of the players that have joined us, the first player to join us was actually a new goalkeeper. His name is Klaus Kappenberger. As you can imagine, a lot of the players are on my shortlist for the Premier League. A lot of players I was looking to sign are not interested in us anymore, as we have been relegated to the Championship. We've still managed to sign some decent players. One of them was Kappenberger, only 1.5 million. He's a potential goalkeeper, but he already looks quite good. He already got 1 cap for Denmark, and Denmark are no poor nation when it comes to football, so that's certainly promising. And yeah, look at him. He looks quite good. I'm actually quite happy with him. And the fact that he might get a lot better than this is just a massive, massive bonus. He's got good 1-on-1, 16, as you can see there. Overall, he's just quite decent as a sweeper keeper. And you could argue the case that he's just as good as a Vucic, or nearly just as good. He's only 20 years of age. So for only 1.5 million, I'm very happy with this signing of Kappenberger. I was surprised that we could get him, to be fair, after we got relegated, but he was happy to join us, and he is our number 1 going through the season. We've got Peacock Farrell still here. He's our backup, and if Kappenberger starts being useless, then Peacock Farrell can come in. Although saying that, I did just reject a bid from Newcastle for Peacock Farrell. He's not very happy about that, but I said if we get 1.2 million for your Peacock, you can leave us, and he's happy with that. So hopefully we can keep hold of Peacock Farrell for the season as well, because he actually turns up quite good. If the other goalkeeper is struggling, like last season, the Vucic was really struggling. Peacock Farrell came in there and made that position his own, so got him as backup for the season as well. After that, we've actually signed 3 players from Bordeaux this season. Like us, they got relegated from the Ligue 1, so they're the players with relegation release clauses, and a bit of a weird team to sign 3 players from, but we got 3 players from them nonetheless. The first one to join us was Kevin Schlotterbeck. He's actually the brother of Nico Schlotterbeck, who plays for Dortmund now in real life. He's not as good as his brother, but got him for 6.25 million. A bit expensive for a 31-year-old, but I was kind of desperate for a centre-back, to tell you the truth. And there wasn't too many options out there who wanted to join us in the Championship. And I was looking for a centre-back who could actually play with his feet as well. Schlotterbeck fills that bill. If he was a bit cheaper, then it'd be a great signing, but 6.25 million is expensive. But anyway, he has joined us. I'm happy with the signing of him. He's an overall decent centre-back. Physically and quick, and his quickness isn't the best, but he is good with his ball at his feet, so I'm happy with the signing of him. The next player we signed was also from Bordeaux. That is Dylan Bakwa, signing for 3.6 million only, and that's a very good signing. He's actually, apparently, according to the media, our second best player for the season, so hopefully he can turn out to be that way as well. He's only 25 as well, about to turn 26, so he might improve a little bit more. He's also got good versatility, as you see there. He can play anywhere in the forward line, which is great. 16 dribbling, he's got good pace and acceleration, good flair, good agility. As a winger, he looks like a very, very good player, doesn't he? And only 3.6 million. Absolutely ecstatic with that. I was a little bit hesitant though because of his wage demands. 55k a week. He's now our highest earner at the club. I always cancelled the deal, to tell you the truth, but I can't be too fussy with the players that actually want to join us. I saw him as a great signing for us. We actually had no wingers at the club at this point, really, and I was almost tempted. Well, I was tempted to play with a 3 at the back system. Bakwa changed my mind about that though. I brought him in. He's now worth 18.5 to 22 million, and hopefully he turns out to be a good player for us this season. After that, we signed Charlie Cresswell from Leeds for 8 million, our second centre-back of the season. More expensive than Schlotterbeck, but hopefully he can be worth the money. He's still young, 25, about to turn 26. Again, what swayed me towards Cresswell was the fact that he can play with the ball at his feet, something we couldn't have last season with our defenders, and I'm happy to get that this season. Obviously not 2 amazing centre-backs, but for the Championship, they look like 2 good players, and obviously if we go out to the Premier League, I'll be looking to strengthen that area, that is for sure. But yeah, Charlie Cresswell, happy with that. We had a big problem with centre-backs last season. We had Adam Steele, who couldn't head the ball. We had 2 centre-backs who couldn't pass the ball. Now we've got 2 players in Cresswell and Schlotterbeck who are good in the air, and they're good with the ball at their feet as well. And that could hopefully work to our advantage with the new positive system I'm playing. Get to that in more detail in a second as well. After that was a couple of loan signings. We've got Andre Terrazas from Liverpool on loan for the season. He's a forward player. Happy with the signing of him. He looks like a good player. He can play on the left. He can also play through the middle as well, and in centre midfield as well. So happy with his signing. Got good composure, good vision as well, good agility. Looks like a very, very good player. Good squad depth as well. Only 20 years of age. Also, I've signed another forward player, this one from Newcastle on loan. His name is Juan Jairo Wallens. Got him on loan for the season, paying a little bit of a fee for him as well, though. Again, 20 years of age, great potential, can play on the right, can play up front as well. Needed another player who could play up front, because Pellegrini's really the only one we got. We've got Yakubu still at the club, though. He's pretty terrible last season. Emil Larsson, not really out-and-out striker. So it's great to have Wallens here who can play up front as well. Got that little bit of a different system I can play. Going to play with a target forward still this season with Pellegrini up there. But if he's not cutting the mustard, we've got Wallens here who can play up front as well. He's going to start off as our right winger though, as an inside forward. But we shall see where we go throughout the season. So very happy with these 2 loan signings, 2 very good forward players. And our final signing of the season was from Bordeaux as well. His name is Jacques Ikomi. He's our new left back. Bought him for 10.5 million. Very happy with this signing as well. He looks like a very good overall left back. Can play centre back as well if needed, but being 5'11", probably don't want him to play there, to tell you the truth. Although he does have half decent jumping reach, so it's definitely an option, that is for sure. But he's our new left back for the season. Happy to see a left back who can go a little bit forward, but also can defend nicely as well. He's got 39 caps for Gabon as well, only 24 years of age, so very happy with these signings I've made this season, and was able to sign these players, of course, because of players we sold. It's now left us, though, with only 83k under the wage budget, nothing in the transfer budget, so unless we sell another player, I am not going to be making any more signings, that is for sure. I'm not actively seeking selling a new player. Aguiar gets a lot of bids for him as well, but again, it's Has he got an active relegation release clause, Aguiar? I don't think he has, actually. No, he doesn't. He's got a minimum fee release clause, though. 16 million domestic clubs in the higher division. We haven't got any offers for him from a Premier League team. We have got some offers for him abroad. We've agreed that if they offer me 32 million for him, he will go. So I don't think anyone's going to offer 32 million for him. So he's going to stay. It was paramount, though. We had 2 more centre-backs who are just as good as Aguiar, if not better, because his natural fitness is really a problem. It's not his ability what is the problem with Aguiar, to tell you the truth, because he actually played quite well last season. He's by far our best defender. But the problem with Aguiar is it is impossible for him to play 2 games in a week due to his natural fitness. So we need to find 2 better centre-backs. Aguiar has lost his position in the team only due to his natural fitness. If he had better natural fitness, he would be a key player for us this season. But I can't be able to play like that in the team. We can't play 2 games of the week, not as a regular starter anyway. But he is still here for now. But Aguiar, Guevara and Gonzalez still could leave us if we get bids for them. So, yeah, maybe that'll happen. Maybe that'll happen down the line. In terms of the team, though, it's looking a little bit small. We've got 23 players in the team as it stands. Ideally, it would be nice to have a backup right back for Gonzalez, because Guevara, who's the only other player who can play right back, along with Digbereku as well, actually. I'm going to try and play him as a centre midfielder this season, as our ball-winning midfielder. But if Gonzalez gets injured, of course, Guevara can play there, so can Digbereku. But I would like to back up right back for Gonzalez. We actually had a right back pop up on a free transfer. It looked ideal to back up for Gonzalez, but unfortunately he went to another team. So that is the only position I'd like to add another player to, if possible, is a backup right back. But I'm not desperate for that, though. Gonzalez, well, hopefully, fingers crossed, he doesn't get any serious injuries throughout the season or does any poor running form, because he could be a key player for us. Anyway, in terms of the tactic, if you've been watching Non-League Giants for a long time now, you know that I've stuck with a very similar tactic from my early days with Dover to Portsmouth as well. It didn't really work out too well in the Premier League. No surprises, though. We did have a very weak team. I'm not going to use that as my excuse. We should have stayed up, really. We should have done enough to stay up, but unfortunately we didn't. I decided that in the Championship, I'm going to try and implement a more positive style of football and take it up to the Premier League with us. If we get there, of course, or if we stay in the Championship, we shall see. This might not be the final tactic, because if you watch my videos, you'll know that I change things a lot, and they're not working, of course. But this is what I'm going with at the moment for this season. I'm starting off with a 4-2-3-1 formation. Got a positive mentality in there. One of the main things I've changed as well is to a shorter passing. It didn't work out well at all for us in the Premier League, our passing ability. We hardly create any... In some games, we didn't even get a shot on target in the game. For many games, actually. And that is just clearly not good enough. So, even though we might be more suspect at the back, we need to be more positive in games and actually start scoring goals. That is the most important thing. Also put play out of defence in there as well. I didn't think that was possible for us with our defenders we had. But now we've got 2 players who actually pass out from the back. I'm trying to implement that with 2 ball-playing defenders there. Got run at defence in there as well. Higher tempo. Fairly wide. In transition, I've got roll it out, distribute quickly, counter and counter press. And out of possession, I was toying with the idea of putting a high press in there, also a high defensive line, but I decided for the start now, just to see how it goes, I'm going to keep it with a mid-block and a standard defensive line, and also the trigger press only more often, other than much more often. Keep the intensity down a little bit. But, as I said, going forward, we shall see if I change things. I'll look to see how the tactics go. And in terms of the player roles, you see I've got sweeper, keeper and support on there. 2 ball-playing defenders on defend. I've got Gonzalez as a fullback on attack. I've got Akomi on a fullback on support. I've got a ball midfielder on defend in there, a box-to-box midfielder, an attacking midfielder on support, inside forward on attack on the right, winger attack on the left, and a target forward up front on attack. So I don't know how it's going to work out, but we shall see in the first game. Bournemouth at home. Can we start off live in the Championship again with a win? Let's find out. Well, in terms of the team sheet, we've actually got 6 players making their debut today. We've got Akomi, Schlotterbeck, Cresswell and Kappenberger in the defence. We've got Wallens on the right and Backwell on the left making their debuts. Other players, we've got Pellegrini starting up front. He was moaning a little bit about leaving because of relegation, but not too much. He's one of the quiet ones. Renier, very surprising about him. Since he played for Real Madrid before us, he has not moaned at all about playing in the Championship. So I'm hoping he can have a good season this season. He looks like a good player. He looks like a player who could definitely work in the Premier League. So I'm hoping they can have a great season in the Championship here for us. It'd be very, very nice if he could. Got Ollison in there as well as a box-to-box midfielder. Unfortunately, Canute is still here. He starts the season with an injury again. Not as serious as last season, though. Hopefully, he can get over his injury troubles, because we missed him a lot last season as well with his injuries, which was really, really costly. Taylor Richards as well, of course, he is still out. He's still out with his damaged cruciate ligaments. He's out for another 3 to 6 weeks. Yeah, Guevara as well. He's one of the players who might leave along with Gonzalez. He's got an active relegation release clause of 22 million. Again, I've said, if you're going to meet the relegation release clause, you can have him. If you're not, clear off, basically. And other than that, there's not too much to mention, to tell you the truth. Bournemouth at home. Can we start off the season with a win? Let's find out. All right, here we go. Our first game back in the Championship. Disappointed to be back in here, but also we could even build a better squad now in the Championship. We've got a corner here, though, ready to take it. Early on, Cresswell's there on his debut. He forces a great save from the keeper. Schlotterbeck's there as well, but he gives the ball away. It's a good team to start off the new season with, home to Bournemouth. Obviously, they're a good Championship club. Spent a lot of time in the Premier League in recent years, and a local rival of ours as well. We started off with the Premier League against a local rival, away to Southampton, of course. We started off the game quite well as well. I'm liking the look of that. We are the better team in the game so far. Not creating too many chances. Hit Gonzalez, who is our best player apparently. I want to see it though, Gonzalez. I want to see it. I want to see you with many assists. He's a bit of a man-mounted as well. He's actually 6'5", which is exceptionally tall for a right back. Saying that though, you got Dan Burn who's 6'7", so what do I know? Oh my word. First chance of the game for Bournemouth and they almost scored. Almost. Wow. I say we're the better team in the game. We're not creating too much though, are we? Saying that though, we're keeping Bournemouth quiet. Although he could have just scored. There you go. A centre-back who can win a header. I'd like to see that. Here's Wallens to Renier. Ollison. Pass out to Bakwa. Forgot his name for a second there. Back to Schlotterbeck. Pass it forward as a ball-playing defender. Doesn't come off, but he can do these passes. Here's great holder to Van der Beek. There's Pert Harris. Here's Smith. Bournemouth on the attack again. Schlotterbeck wins the header only to find Van der Beek. Now it's Ibrahim, a former player of ours, of course. Oh, you got to be joking. You got to be joking. You got to be joking. Not a goalkeeping mistake on your debut. What's he doing? That's a freak goal though, isn't it? Oh, come off it. Come off it. Well, not a great start to Championship life here. We're 1-0 down already. Beljo with a, lobbing the goalkeeper with a header, which is never nice to see, is it? Oh dear. Oh dear. Not going to get too worried though. Of course, it's only the first game of the season. Alright, come on boys. Second half underway here. Dominating possession, which you don't normally do. Something we'll get used to as well. We're going to do that. But it's been terrible so far, isn't it? Well, 30 minutes to go. It's been a real struggle this one. We're not creating too many chances in the game. We're not giving away too many chances either, but not good enough, is it? Not good enough at all. Well, at the hour mark, I'm making a treble substitution. Wallens can go up front as an advanced forward. Pellegrini is off. Terrazas is on. Backwards gone to the right-hand side. I've also put a Comey on fullback attack as well. I've brought on Matazzo for Guevara and Scott for Renier as well. I've also put a high press in there, high defensive line, and trigger press much more often. Come on, boys. We can't lose in our return to the Championship here. Not at home. The tactic's been quite positive, to tell you the truth, but chances are being hard to come by in today's game. We've created more chances than Bournemouth. They scored a free goal, though, and then winning the game, of course. 20 minutes to go, though. This is not on. We're going with attacking mentality now. Can we make any more substitutions? Can we make 5 in the Premier League? Can we still make 5? Wallens is not had a good debut, is he? Saying that, though, who am I going to bring on? Yakubu, Larson, or Ito? Don't think so. Got attacking, though. 19 minutes to go. Come on, boys. At least get a draw here. We've had 13 shots, 7 on target in the game now, so we are actually creating some chances, but we are not converting them. Anyway, here's Bakwa. Come on, Bakwa. Make something happen on your debut, mate. Cross it in. No. Terrazas gets there, though. Wallens! It's deflected. Is it going in? No, it's not. It's going over the bar. Oh, well. Still got Middlesbrough to come in the episode, of course, away from home, so we can still get a win out of the episode. Cresswell heads it over the bar, 16 minutes to go. Don't deserve to lose the game, that is for sure. Bournemouth, I guess it's positive to take out in the match. Bournemouth are a good team and restricted their chances to not many at all. But unfortunately, when they got their chance, they converted, didn't they? Anyways, Comey hopefully deals with it well. Here's Kappenberger. He passes it out to Gonzalez. Here's Scott. Trying to find backward, trying to make things happen there, Scott. There come Bournemouth now. Schlotterbeck gets the ball back. Come on, boys. Let's get a goal in this highlight. Comey with a long ball forward. Wallens, are you going to get there? He's got good pace. No, he's not. Come on. Come on, Portsmouth. Here's a Comey. We are the better muff in this game. Portsmouth better than Bournemouth. It's Gonzalez. Haven't seen much from you today, have we, mate? Olison. Think he might be offside. Is there VAR in the Championship? I don't think there is. Wallens, a terrible, terrible start. A terrible debut so far. Until now, because now he has scored. Get in there. I thought he was going to go to VAR. I'm used to VAR now, of course, because of the Premier League. Backward looked like he might be offside, but apparently he isn't. Anyway, I don't think we need to stay attacking anymore, because Bournemouth are clearly a good team, but we go back to positive. Can we snatch a late winner here with 7 minutes to go? Back on the highlights straight away. Walton is another former player of ours, I believe. He only played like 3 games for me, though, because he was absolutely atrocious back in League One, but he's playing for Bournemouth these days. Oh, don't tell me you are going to concede a goal straight after scoring. That'll make me absolutely devastated. No way. Kappenberger, nothing stupid, mate. Yeah, that's it. Go to ground. I like what I'm seeing here. Can we get a goal straight back after that one, though? Can we get a back-to-back goals here? Here's Olison to Schlotterbeck. He passed out to Gonzalez. Go on, Gonzalez. Run at him. Matazzo. Oh, no, he gives the ball away. Now here's Bournemouth. Been quite a thrilling start to the season, actually. Been quite a decent game, especially the second half. But anyway, here come Bournemouth again. Why? What on earth is that? Oh my word, where on earth is the defender there? Look at that space there. What on earth are you doing? Wow. Well, I'm going very attacking here for the last few minutes. I can't believe we're losing this game. I can't believe we lost the game. Wow. Okay. What a terrible start to life in the Championship that is. What a terrible start, losing at home to a fierce rival of ours. Well, not fierce rival, but a local rival. I'm not going to let it get to me, though, because there actually was some positives to take from the match. You see there, we actually started to create some chances now in the Championship. Okay, I know what you're going to say. It's very easy to create chances in the Championship than it is the Premier League, but still, there's a good amount of chances created. I think Bournemouth have been ridiculously lucky here, to tell you the truth. I think they've been ridiculously lucky to win this game 2-1. The 2 centre-backs put in 2 good match ratings. The goalkeeper didn't have the greatest debuts. The 2 full-backs didn't do too well. Olison did alright. Backwell got an assist, and Wallen's got a goal, of course. I feel like we did most things right in this game. We just didn't get the luck here today, so I'm not going to be too angry about this result. It's only the first game of the season after all as well, but hopefully we can bounce back with some sort of result away to Middlesbrough. Okay, here we are. It's time for Borough away from home. Can we make amends for that disappointing start to the season at home to Bournemouth? Well, I'm sticking with exactly the same team. I feel like they didn't do too badly in that game there, so hopefully they can make amends for that game, as I said, and get a positive result here away to Borough. Borough, one of the teams who got relegated with us. We finished above them in the league, though, of course. Not that it makes much difference. We finished 18th, they finished 19th. So we've definitely got a chance to beat him here today. And as I said, no changes to the starting 11. There were some poor performances there. The goalkeeper didn't have a great debut. Gonzalez didn't play well. Nor did Comey. Guevara was poor. The fans are starting to moan about him. Renier was poor as well. So was Pellegrini. But you know what? I'm not going to be too drastic after one game of football. Let's see what we'll do against Borough. Borough away from home. Can we end the episode on a high? Let's find out. Alright, here we go. We're definitely very unfortunate against Bournemouth there. We deserve to draw the game minimum. And I'd argue the case that we deserve the win. Anyway, 5 minutes into this game, we're on the highlight. I'm liking the look of our free-flowing, short-passing football, but they need to get fully used to it, of course. They need to get fully used to the new tactic. Can they start off on a high here? Here's Pellegrini. Had a poor game against Bournemouth. He's had a good start in this game, though. He's 1-0 up already. Pellegrini with the goal. I was tempted to make some changes for today's game. I decided, you know what, it can't be too drastic after one game. And Pellegrini, he has scored a goal early on here, which I do like to see. Guevara with the ball, passes it to Olison. A nice ball to Pellegrini. Takes the first touch well. And it looks like he almost lobs the keeper. Goes in off the bar. And we start off the game with a positive here. Come on, boys. Here's Kappenberger. I'd like to see a better performance from him today. That'd be nice. To Gonzalez, same with him as well. Because as I said, it's only one game of football. Let's not be too drastic here. Here's Gonzalez. Nice ball. Oh, I thought it was going to be a nice ball forward there. Gonzalez, he's got a lot going for him. One thing he doesn't have, though, is great pace as a right back, which is disappointing. If he had great pace, it'd be unbelievable. Unfortunately, he does not, though. Anyway, it's Hee-Chan for Middlesbrough to Zamora. Back to Hee-Chan. Cresswell, nice cover in there, but Middlesbrough still got the ball. Here's Roslev, who I thought was starting at centre-back. Apparently not. Oh, no. I thought might be a penalty there, but it's not. They've still got the ball, though. Here's Stewart to Zamora. Still Zamora, crosses it in. Oh, my word. How did I not go in the back of the net? I thought that was in, to tell you the truth. Long highlights normally scream goal for me, but then it didn't. Anyway, only 2 shots in the game so far. I know the 2 shots we saw on the highlight, one for us, one for them, it's turned into a little bit of a cagey affair here. Could demand more from the players. We're not creating anything in the game, but nor Middlesbrough. It's been a terrible game so far, but we are winning the game 1-0, so that's all that matters so far. Yeah, the moment it's been terrible. Wow. Pathetic first half, that. Only 5 shots in the game so far. 0.16 XG for them. 0.27 for us. But we are winning the game, so that's all that matters. I know they can do better, though. Well, no changes at half-time. We are beating Middlesbrough away from home, which is a very good feat at the moment. Saying that, though, straight from the kick-off in the second half, they are on the highlight here. Or we're on the highlight, shall I say. But Middlesbrough with the ball. Sargent wins the header. That's just too easy, isn't it? That's ridiculously too easy. That is just absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Was that the left-back there? That was pathetic. Ben Jones with a goal, and it's a terrible start to the second half here. Let's see this. It's the left back in it. It's a Comey. Just how easy is it for Ben Jones there? How easy is it? That's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. Well, it's not been the greatest of starts to the new season, not by any means, but plenty of time in the season to rectify things. Still only 1-1 in the game, of course. Can still get a winner in the game. Not create anything though, are we? Not create anything at all. You know, I made 2 changes here. Guevara is off. I brought on Matazzo, put him on ball midfielder and support as well. I've also taken off Renier and I brought on Terrazas. These 2 have been terrible in the first 2 games of the season, so I think for the next game, those 2 are getting dropped. Let's see what Terrazas and Matazzo can do for us here. A draw here away to Borough is not a terrible result. Saying that though, starting off with a loss at home to Bournemouth, I would have really liked to draw in this game. A win, sorry, in this game, not a draw. Going forward has been quite a problem for today's game as well. The wingers haven't been great at all. You know what, Alex Scott can come on. We'll take off Bakwa, he's been quite poor. We'll put Terrazas on the left there. I think that'll do again. I think that'll do. Exactly the same 3 substitutions as the last game. Haven't got great options on the bench. As I said, draw here wouldn't be terrible. Definitely played a lot better in the first game though, that is for sure. Only a few minutes to go now. A couple minutes out of time. Looks like a 1-1 draw. It's a 1-1 draw. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Borough are one of the best teams in the league, and yeah, could have done a lot worse in this game. Just really disappointing the fact we lost at home to Bournemouth. 4 points out of this episode would have been lovely. Been a great start to the season. Unfortunately, though, we lost at home to Bournemouth, didn't we? Which was really poor. Definitely some problems with the start to the season. Pellegrini, despite scoring a goal, only got a 6.8 average 8 match rating, so that's clearly an issue there. Do I need to scrap the target forward already? Don't know, it's a bit early still though, isn't it? It's a bit early. Let's see how Pellegrini would do. I'm already thinking about switching to an advanced forward though. Would suit Wallens. Pellegrini can do that role as well. But for the moment, I was going to stick with how things are going. Going to make a couple of changes for the next game though. Renier and Guevara out. Pathetic start to the season from them. But Schlotterbeck with 2 green ratings in the first 2 games of the season without keeping a clean sheet. That's definitely promising. Ollison did well as well with an assist in today's game. Funny enough, though, I think the Bournemouth game was more positive than this one, despite us getting a much better result here away to Borough. So, a bit strange. We're restricting the chances the teams have created against us. You think about the amount of chances Borough and Bournemouth create against us. It's got 3 goals from it, though, so that's a bit worrying. But if we continue playing like this throughout the season, surely things are going to go good for us in the end. Yeah, so not a great start to the new season here for us. Only 1 point from the first 2 games. Well, I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all. These things happen, unfortunately. Home to Luton in the next game. Where they predict to finish. Well, their immediate prediction is 23rd in the league. Just been promoted from League 1. So, if we don't beat Luton at home, I'll be a little bit worried. But I'm sure things are going to come good for us eventually. I think we need to get the right balance with the team. Pathetic starts to the new season. Gonzalez, second best player in the Championship. Debatable from Gonzalez. He was terrible in the Premier League. He started off terribly here in the Championship as well. Hopefully he can improve. I really wish he can improve. Same with Guevara as well. He needs to be dropped for the next game. So does Renier as well, to teach them a lesson. But hopefully things can improve, as I said. In terms of the next episode, guys, I think I'll bring you back for the games at home to Millwall and away to Stoke. Stoke, the other team, of course, who got relegated with us in Middlesbrough. The other two teams who got promoted with us from the Championship. So, interesting to play them again. Hopefully we can pick up some wins before here and the next episode. If we don't pick up any wins, I think I'll be sacked, to tell you the truth. Home to Luton. Got Bournemouth at home in the Carabao Cup as well. Sunderland, Swansea away, Burnley and Derby at home, Millwall at home as well. So hopefully things can start to come good for us. Of course, we need to still get familiar to the tactics. You see here the team cohesion's poor as well. So hopefully these things can improve from here to the next episode and things can start to look a bit more rosy for us. It's not the episode I wanted, not the start to the season I wanted, but things are still promising for us and hopefully we can start to come good. Join me for the next episode, guys, at home to Millwall and away to Stoke. That is the end of the video. Please remember that if you do like the video, to that like button for me. It's really important for the video success. And also, if you're new around here, do hit that subscribe button as well. It'd really help me out and much appreciated. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.